Welcome back to Louisville Now. I'm Gary White with Metro TV, and we are at the Peterson Dumesnil House on this beautiful day. And right now I'm joined by Steve Weiser, who is a Louisville architect, author, and historian. And we're going to get a chance to talk to you kind of a little bit about all three of those areas, right?
There you go. That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Steve, let's kick off talking about, obviously, we're at the Peterson Dumesnil House, and you are doing some fundraisers for the foundation here. One's coming up on Sunday, October the 12th, right? And you're going to be at Cave Hill Cemetery.
That is correct. We're doing a small group tour of Cave Hill Cemetery, where I was the tour guide for 17 years. I started the tour guide program at Cave Hill. Do know where the bodies are buried. And so we're leading a tour group there this coming Sunday.
That's fantastic. Okay. So tell us, you actually started these ghost tours at the Cave Hill Cemetery?
Well, they're not actually ghost tours. What we started out doing were just highlighting the historic individuals that are buried there at Cave Hill.
Okay.
And it has since blossomed into a variety of tours that Cave Hill still does. I retired from doing tours there in 2019, but they still do a variety of tours that you can go to their website to find out more about. But yeah, we started talking about the legends of Cave Hill, and it's transformed into all sorts. I tell a little ghost stories about what's happening there, but for the most part, it's the historic figures there.
Okay. And the people who lived here at this house are buried at Cave Hill, is that correct?
That's correct. And so on this Sunday, we'll be looking at the Peterson family plot, the Dumesnil family plot, and the Rowland family plot. And all three of those are buried in very scenic locations of Cave Hill, where there's a lot of history in those scenic locations. And so we'll be talking about not only those families, but all those individuals buried around them as well.
Okay. So also another event that you're doing is the Haunted Happy Hour. And actually, if you get a ticket for the Haunted Happy Hour, you get a copy of Steve's book, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Haunted Houses of Louisville.
Yes, and we will be talking ghosts and hauntings as part of that. And I have done a number of ghost talks over the years, but this talk will be totally different. I've got a lot of new ghost tales that I'll be talking about. And I deal in what I call factual ghosts, ghosts that we can actually tie a name to and the history to those ghosts.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a ghost story associated with this house. And on the cover of your book, the house we're standing in is on the cover, right?
That is correct.
So it must be one of the most haunted?
So I've lived in the Crescent Hill neighborhood for 45 years. I used to just live a block from here on Frank Avenue, so I always heard about the Lady in White here at the Peterson Dumesnil House. So what's this ghost all about? And again, I deal in factual ghosts. So I did a lot of history research, finding out what normally ghosts are created by a traumatic event, an accidental death or something of that nature. For instance, like Patricia Wilson down at the Silbach Hotel, who died in the elevator shaft down there. She's the lady in blue at the Silbach. But here at the Peterson Dumesnil House, never heard of the traumatic event here. And so I did a lot of research, found out the history of why that might be, and I put it in the book here.
Okay, so you had to buy the book.
You had to buy or come to the happy hour, and we'll discuss more about that. Okay. Correct.
So speaking of that, we want to say how people can get tickets or get more information on these different events. So we talked about the happy hours on October the 26th, I believe.
That is correct.
Right?
Sunday, October 26th, 5 p.m.
Okay, and the Cave Hill Cemetery tours, October the 12th.
October 12th, 10 to noon. And the reason why we're doing it early on Sunday morning is to avoid all the other tours that Cave Hill does there in the Sunday afternoon. So we're doing it a little early, but it'll be a very beautiful morning.
Absolutely. How can people find out to get tickets and reserve, or do they need to?
Go to the petersondumesnil.org website, and there's more information on how to click on the various links to purchase tickets.
Okay, so if you visit the website for the Peterson Dumesnil House
the
Foundation, you'll be able to get information on those events that are going on with the Cave Hill Cemetery tour. Obviously, with the happy hour will be here, and you do get a copy of this book.
Get the book. And also on the Cave Hill tour, you get a copy of my Louisville Sights to See book, which talks about the architecture and history of Louisville. And we have a specific section on Cave Hill in that book, so they'll get a book there as well.
Okay. So we talked about you being an author, a historian, obviously, so the architect part. Can you give us a little tidbit about this building that makes it really kind of unique?
Well, it was designed by Henry Whitestone, a very famous legendary architect of Louisville. He is also going to be on our Cave Hill tour. I will lead us a tour to his gravesite there. But it's an Italianate style design. And what's other fascinating about this particular house is Frankfort Avenue, all up and down Frankfort Avenue, there are beautiful estates like this house. Only one remains, And there's a reason why that is. Come to the happy hour and we explain why this house remains after all the other mansions have been demolished.
You're very good at giving teasers to make people get here, right?
That's correct.
All right. So that gives you a reason to come for the happy hour on October 26th.
October 26th,
Here
5 p.m.
at the Peterson Dumesnil House, and for October the 12th at the Cave Hill Cemetery. Lots of stuff going on. Again, it's fundraisers for the foundation here. But before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the ginkgo tree in the backyard.
Correct.
Now, this is a noteworthy tree as well, and has a Cave Hill Cemetery connection?
That's correct. There's legendary ginkgos throughout Louisville. There's about 10 of them. There's one here at PD House, over at Cave Hill, at the old Galt Estates across Brownsboro Road. There's these massive ginkgos, and they were planted in the mid-1800s. And so folklore says that the legendary Senator Henry Clay brought those seeds back from the Chinese embassy here and distributed them around. I've yet to be able to document that legend, but these are massive trees, and the PD House has a contest every fall to decide when these leaves will fall on the trees. So you can go to the website on that to find out more.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So stay with us here in Louisville now, because we're going to learn more about the trees as well. We have an arborist with the Urban Forestry Department here coming up right on Louisville Now. Stay with us.